to happen when we can socialise again? I'm really not sure about going back into the office. I get so much more done at home, and I don't want to waste all that time travelling. Being around lots of people concerns me. I never thought I'd feel this way, but I'm not sure I want to return to the life I had. Does this sound familiar to you? Maybe this reflects some of your thoughts, or maybe ones that people have been sharing with you. With many of the restrictions lifting, especially here in the UK very soon, and potentially for others of you around the world as well, we're re-emerging in different ways. Now, the way that we do this is very much going to depend on our experiences and those experiences that we've had over the past 16 months or so. So what I want to do, first of all, is just have a look at some of the things that you could have been feeling, some of the different things that you could have been feeling, and it may well be a mix and a blend of quite a few of these. Okay, so at times, maybe you felt heavily restricted. I think a lot of us have felt heavily restricted, at least for some of the time, and maybe we still do. Maybe you felt liberated in some way. Maybe you felt quite lost and disconnected. Maybe you felt safe just being at home. Or maybe you've actually felt very unsafe at home. Maybe you felt energised and you can't wait to dive back in. Or maybe you've actually been feeling overwhelmed by your caring responsibilities. Maybe you've been feeling more confident because you've been able to focus more on what you want from life. Or actually maybe you felt really exposed if your work has been particularly frontline. Perhaps you feel relieved for many reasons. Or maybe you've been feeling desperately sad at not being able to visit and hug family and friends. Maybe you've been grieving and you are grieving loved ones. And maybe you've also been grieving in a similar, I know it's not the same, but we still grieve things that we lose. So maybe also grieving your former job, your work, or maybe your business. Maybe you're feeling excited though, there's some feelings of excitement out there. So maybe also some excitement to get out there with everything that you've been working on, maybe some new things. Maybe you actually feel quite daunted though by the constant change and the adaptations that we're all living with now. And maybe to finish on a positive one, maybe you actually feel, as you sort of look back over the past 16 months or so, despite all of those feelings, and I know there are going to be sort of like lots of other ones as well, but actually maybe you feel proud of yourself at how you've grown and massively improved your resilience. So as we all walk forwards in our own ways, and as we all emerge and venture out, we're very much walking, metaphorically speaking, but we're very much walking out into a world transformed, having transformed ourselves to a greater or lesser degree, maybe out of necessity, maybe out of desire. It's going to be very different for different people. So what could you do from here, knowing that keeping it simple is often the best way? So I've got 3 steps here that I hope you find helpful. So step 1, be prepared. So be prepared to be in tune with your emotions, okay? Be in tune with your emotions and the feelings arising from them as they shift and move around over the next few weeks and months, because they're going to do that. Because we're human beings, that is what is going to happen. They're going to shift and they're going to move around. So step 1 is be prepared to be in tune with your emotions. Step 2 is about sharing. If you're not feeling great and you have some concerns, whether they're small concerns or whether they're really large concerns, share how you're feeling with someone who will listen. And please, when I say listen, I really mean listen. Not someone who's going to jump in and come up with a solution or is going to feel uncomfortable at your discomfort. Sometimes people do, a lot of the times that people do. And so really, if you're going to share and you're not feeling great and you do have concerns and you want to share how you're feeling, make sure you do that with someone who will listen and is able to listen. And the reason I say that is because it's the only way to get clarity on the real causes of your concerns, to kind of like get them out there, because when we speak and we get things out there, it helps us to order things sort of like order things in our mind. It's a bit like throwing it all out there, and then we can see it, and then we bring it back, you know, to make some sense of it, bring order, whatever sort of like resonates with you as I say that. And when you do that, it means you can work towards your own solution. You don't have to run towards it. It's about working towards your own solution. And as much as other people will want to help, it's not about their solutions, it's about your solutions. So step 2 is about sharing with people that really can listen and are able to listen well. And it can take some time to do that, to work through these things. So make sure you choose the right person. Step 3 is about awareness. So be aware that people's triggers, including your own, even if you're on top of the world at the moment, which I really hope that you are, but be aware that people's triggers, including your own, will be very sensitive. And that's because of this, I know they've called it the corona roller coaster, haven't they? And all sorts of other sort of sayings that have come out over this time. But it does make us very sensitive, because it means that we've been in conflict with our value systems, in conflict with what's important to us, you know, some of the time, you know, with our beliefs and what we think should be happening and shouldn't be happening. So step 3 is about awareness, being aware that people's triggers, including your own, will be very sensitive. So as an example, just because our proximity to people, you know, we can reduce that proximity, certainly with the easing of the restrictions, and also with gathering in larger groups as well. You know, that's going to be permitted here in the UK and in some other places sort of around the world. Not everyone is going to be okay about it. Not everyone is going to be okay. So be aware that people's triggers are going to be more sensitive. To notice discomfort in people's body language and expressions when you're actually there with them, and also in, you know, as you're sort of like preparing to go out and perhaps do some social things or return back into the workplace, make sure you have that heightened awareness. You have it as part of your human software. Sharpen that up a little bit, just sharpen that up a little bit. So the way to do that is to talk to colleagues, you know, listen to colleagues, build relations with colleagues. So we've got those 3 steps. Step 1, be prepared. Step 2, to share. And step 3 is about awareness. So in a nutshell, I'd say, you know, be mindful of your own emotions and feelings, and other people's too. Be really thoughtful and considerate as you emerge. I'm sure you are. Just sort of like make a mental note to yourself to be even more thoughtful and considerate than you usually are. And really listen. Really, really do listen when people need to talk. And also share your concerns to help you make sense of them with someone who's really good at listening. So as we move forward, and we're going to move forward in different ways. We're all different people. We're all going to have different thoughts and feelings about this. But let's do the best we can to be considerate of one another, and let's move forward together, step by step by step. So I hope you found that helpful, and I'll be back really soon with some more suggestions as we keep emerging and moving out into the world.